Hello aspirants, I'm Anand and joining me is my colleague Priya. And today we're tackling something that looks small on the surface but is actually a gold mine for your mains prep. We're talking about the expansion of India's e-visa facility.
So I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, another current affairs update, right? But hold on. For a serious aspirant, the real question is, how can a seemingly minor update about Seaports actually help you score more marks in your mains? Well, that's exactly what we're here to unpack.
So what's the news? It's actually pretty simple. The Union Home Ministry has just given the green light for e-visa holders to enter through a bunch of new seaports. Basically, we're opening up more doors for international travelers who come to India by sea.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What's actually new here?
14. That's the magic number here. The government has added 14 new seaports where e-visa holders can now enter. And what's super interesting is the focus on one particular state. Get this, half of them, 7 of them, are in Gujarat.
And we're not just talking about some small, obscure ports. These are significant places all along our coastline. You've got Alang and Hazira in Gujarat, Thoothukudi down in Tamil Nadu, Kakinada in Andhra Pradesh, and even Paradeep in Odisha. It's pretty clear this is a strategic move to beef up our maritime entry points all across the board.
Anand, you've hit the nail on the head. And for everyone watching, this is where you separate a good answer from a great one. You have to look past the headline. It's all about decoding the governance framework behind it. And that starts with 2 key terms, e-visa and ICP.
Okay, so what on earth is an immigration check post, or ICP? It sounds complicated, but it's not. Think of it as the official front door to India. It could be an airport, a seaport, or even a land border crossing. It's just the official spot where the government says, okay, you can enter or leave from here, and where you get your passport stamped.
And to give you the bigger picture, India has about 114 of these ICPs in total. Now with these new additions, the number of seaport ICPs has jumped to 37. That's really significant because it's now more than the 32 airport ICPs we have. See what's happening? There's a clear shift in focus towards our sea routes.
Okay, here's a classic mistake people make, and you need to avoid this in your answers. E-visa is not the same as visa on arrival. Let me repeat, they are not the same. An e-visa is something you get approved for online before you even pack your bags. It's pre-approved. A visa on arrival is what you get when you show up at the immigration counter and hope for the best. Big difference, and getting that right shows you really understand the policy.
That's a fantastic point, Priya. And this is where things get really interesting. Because this isn't just about governance and tourism. Oh no, there's a huge geopolitical angle here, especially when we talk about our relationship with China. Let's dig into that.
You have to remember the context here. This isn't happening out of the blue. Think back to 2020, after the Galwan incident. India basically shut down visa services for Chinese citizens. But now, slowly, carefully, things are changing. We're about to start giving tourist visas again in July 2025. Direct flights are planned for October 2025. You see? Each of these steps is a carefully calculated diplomatic signal.
And this is a textbook example of a core IR concept. A visa policy is so much more than a piece of paper for a tourist. It's a powerful diplomatic weapon. You can use it to welcome a country with open arms or to give them the cold shoulder. And in this case, it's about delicately managing a very, very complex relationship.
Okay, so we've got the what and the why. Now for the most important part for you. How do you actually use this information in the exam hall? Let's map it directly to your main syllabus.
All right, let's break this down. For GS Paper 2, you've got 2 great connection points. First, e-governance. Talk about how e-visas are making travel easier and helping tourism. Second, under India and its neighborhood, this is your go-to example for diplomatic signaling with China. Now, jump to GS Paper 3. Under infrastructure, this is a perfect fit for the Sagarmala project and port development. And don't forget internal security. This whole thing brings up that critical debate. How do we protect our massive coastline while also opening it up for business?
Those are fantastic connections, Priya. Now let's fast forward. You've cleared mains and you're sitting in the interview. How could this topic show up in your personality test?
So the panel might throw something at you like this to test your economic thinking. They'll want to see if you can talk about the pros of a more open visa system for attracting tourists and money. A smart way to answer would be to compare India's approach to, say, Thailand or Malaysia, who are big players in the tourism game. And of course, they might hit you with the classic economy versus security question.
This is a big one. They'll ask you to weigh the benefits against the risks. The key here is balance. Don't pick a side. Instead, talk about a both-and solution. You could bring up things like using technology for better surveillance, better intelligence sharing between agencies, or even getting coastal communities involved in policing.
And finally, they might ask a forward-looking question to see your vision. What's the next step for India's immigration system? This is your moment to shine. You could talk about cool stuff like integrating biometrics, using AI to spot risks, or maybe a one-stop shop online portal for visitors. So what's the bottom line? A seemingly simple news item like this is packed with potential for every single stage of the exam. The key is to keep digging deeper and always connect the dots. All the best.